Hi everybody, welcome to Stampers Club. I'm Karen Trolfa and I have a really great card to show you how to make today. You are absolutely going to be loving it. It is part of the, I use the Harvest Meadow Suite. So we've got some really fun designer paper, great stamp set. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay, so it's part of the Harvest Meadow Suite that I'm going to be using today. And the suite has some beautiful designer paper, this really fun cork paper. It's a little bit on the thinner side, so it lays real nice, doesn't add a lot of bulk, but gives you a lot of texture. Some really wonderful metallic dots. And they're not exactly, they don't look round. They look a little bit more elongated and they don't add too much height either. They're pretty, are close to being pretty flat. A great new folder, embossing folder, time worn, gets a nice subtle background and some really great ribbon that goes in it. And just makes I love fall. I love the colors that fall presents. And these items are currently available in the July to December 2021 mini catalog with Stampin' Up. You can certainly shop online with me at stampersclub.com. Just hit the shop button. All right, so this is the stamp set. It is red rubber. Of course, I have most of mine out because I've been using them. It is red rubber, comes with 7 stamps. And then there's a nice die set that goes with this. There's 8 dies. And there's only a couple of them, though, that actually match up with the stamps. Like this one cuts this out. And then you can use the labels for some of the other words, things like that, okay? But the rest of the elements are actually, wait, this one here cuts out too. This one cuts this out. So some of the images have matching dies, but then there's a nice selection of additional elements. That's what makes this set so fun. I love when we have these extra little elements that are actually like pretty much wow all the way around. So today I'm going to show you how I created this card. Move this stuff out of my way. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I did this. And the supplies that I used were a half a sheet of crumb cake cardstock. So it's 8.5 by 5.5, which I'm going to fold in half. I like to get things out of the way. I don't know why I always do this first, but I do. It's, you know, I guess we all have our habit, right? So I'm going to fold that in half. And then I have a piece of the designer paper, and I'm using the this pretty misty moon-like pattern. But look at this lovely like calypso coral too. Isn't that just, it's just so vibrant. But I'm going to use the blue one today. And this is cut at 4 by 5.25. Okay, I'm going to glue that on. I'm going to add another element on top of here. I have a piece of cards, Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to use Misty Moonlight. And just this kind of like a blotch image on the back, because I just want some background texture. And I'm just going to write like that. I guess I could have stamped off, but that looks good. I'm okay with that. Mostly that's going to be covered up anyway. And I'm going to mount this on to another piece of crumb cake. Okay, just like that. And this piece, I'm going to add, I'm going to finish making these elements first. So I've already die cut 2 of the pieces from the dies. This is the Bumblebee cardstock. And that I'm going to just get a little bit of tape on there. I don't need much. It doesn't have to be perfect. It does have to not stick to my fingers though. All right, and I'm gonna lay this down, just kind of, I think I want it about like that. Okay, I'm gonna trim these ends. I don't really want them this long. I'm gonna trim these a little bit. And then I cut another one of the elements out of the cork paper. So this is actually pretty fun. Like I said, it's pretty thin, so it doesn't add a lot of bulk. It's actually thinner than the cardstock, but look at the lovely texture that it gives. It makes it look like there's something a whole lot there. That I'm going to save because we're going to put that on last. And then to create this next little element, we're going to use, I used this die. And I'm just going to get the outline of the flower. So with my ink pad closed, I'm going to give it a little squish there so that I can transfer some ink onto the top here. And this is just a little watercolor. And I'm going to use some watercolor paper too. And I'm just going to get that a little wetter. Just going to do like a watercolor wash across this. And I'm using the wide brush. I love this wide brush that comes in our watercolor painters. I'm just slashing it on. I'm not going to get it perfect. I want some highs and lows. So I'm going to leave some of this a little bit darker. Just add some dark areas like that. Okay. Put that lid on that. Of course, this does take a minute to dry, but I'm just going to kind of rush it along a little bit and get my mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Give it a little blow. That's probably good enough. And I'm just going to use that die and put it right over the top of where I colored. I love the watercolor painting. I just don't do it enough. I should do a whole series on it. What do you think? All kinds of different ways to use the watercolor. Different images. Okay, so let's see how that looks. Look how great this looks. Get rid of that. So I don't know if you can quite see it or not, but there's like little ridges because this die also gives you some texture by where the little poke outs are for. That gives you a little bit of texture. So you have almost like an embossed image on there. And then that's just garbage. All right. So let me get a little tape on this. I'm gonna add that to my card here. I'm gonna go a little bit on an angle. Pop that up. I don't know if I want it that high. I don't think I want it that high. Yeah, that's probably good. And then we'll add the cork piece to it. All right, that's just going to get laid right over the top of all of it. I think I'll go a little to the left here, a little more offset there. Okay, and again, I'm going to trim these bottoms. I don't want them that long. Okay, and then I lost my ribbon. Huh. There's some. Lost my ribbon. All right, so I'm going to get us a length of the diamond weave ribbon. Get that cut off there. And I'm just going to add that over the top of this. Probably right there at the bottom of those. That'll look good. I'm just going to flip it over so that I can see where my ribbon's going to end up with some tape on there. And of course I'm crooked, but that's not uncommon for me. Astigmatism in my eye, so it always makes it a little bit crooked. All right, and then I'm going to get a little piece of linen thread. Pop that under there. Okay. And I'm going to just do a little bow right here. I just want to scrunch this up and make it look a little tighter. I need a little more ribbon than that. I need a little more thread than that. There we go. All right. And I'm going to just make a bow. Nothing fancy here. Pull that down, get that a little bit smaller. Oh, I like that one. Okay. That's still got, there we go. That's good. Cut that. Get that one. Okay, so now we have kind of like our focal point in our card here, but I'm going to put this whole assembly on dimensionals. Another 3 of them. Nope. See, I don't waste anything here, right? Get pieces here. And another one, and one in the middle. Okay. Get these backings off. Oh. And we're just going to kind of put that right in the middle there. And then we're going to stamp our greeting, and I'm just going to use the thank you and some Memento Black on some Misty Moonlight cardstock. And I'm going to get my machine back out here. Okay, and this one I'm going to do the label, this really pretty label, nice and simple. Look how simple that one is. A little thank you. And let's get that in there. I really like the new Stampin' Cut emboss machine from Stampin' Up! Came out with last year. It just has such a much more even cutting surface, and you don't have to go back and forth a whole bunch of times, so it's a lot. The tolerance is really nice. It's kind of cool. All right, so this I'm going to do on dimensionals also. Just get a couple of minis here. Okay. And I'm going to lift, I didn't put that tape on the whole thing because I want to lift this up and kind of tuck it behind a little bit there. So it looks like it's kind of overlapping in there. And voila! A cute, quick card. Couple of die cut elements, very little stamping, the greeting, and this little background smush so that it just has like a little bit more color going on up on the front there. And then that was done with the, again, Nature's Harvest stamp, and it does bundle with a set of matching framelits. And then I have a couple of other cards too that I can show you that I did. So this is one that's a good luck card. And so what I did with this one is I used that little element, and I did 2 of them, and I colored them with blends. But again, I used some of that really fun cork and the nice diamond weave ribbon here. Okay, and then here's another one. And this one I stamped right on the cork, and I know the shimmer probably doesn't show up on camera, but I didn't color that in. I actually used Wink of Stella and just went over the surface between the, of the stamped image, because that image is more of an outline. And by using the Wink of Stella, it kind of darkened up the cork. And then here I just used the greeting and kind of tore it. And then these lovely lattices, those are in the annual catalog, and they come in a pack of 10, and they are just like such a quick little whoop, throw it on there type of an element. But you know what I forgot to put on here is bling. Let's grab a little bit of bling. It's I think I'll use the copper. And we're gonna, yeah, let me add one here and one here. And you know what? I think I'll add one right on to this petal there. There, yeah, I gotta have bling, right? Yeah, it looks good. If all of these products are available in my online store at stampersclub.com, just remember that when you're in there, when it switches over to Stampin' Up, that you see my name up in the corner so that you know that you're shopping with me. And if you have any questions about the card, feel free to comment, ask me, email me. I'm definitely willing to help anybody that wants some help. And I hope that you'll enjoy making your card with the Nature's Harvest bundle. And you guys have a great day. Bye for now.